In this video, we're gonna talk about what to do after you find your wholesale deal coming up. Hey everybody, it's Jamel Gibbs. Listen, what I wanna do today is talk to you about what to do after you get the wholesale deal. Now, I've done a video like this before. I'll link it up at the top where I went into a lot of detail on the dispositions aspect of the business. But today, what I wanna do is share with you a dispositions checklist that you can download right in the description box. So at this point in the business, you got your deal, you are ready to start marketing in order to find a buyer for your deal. Now, chances are, if you follow any of my previous wholesaling instructions, I like to find buyers first, but in some cases, like in a fire market like we're in right now, it doesn't matter if you find your buyer first because there's buyers everywhere and they're gonna overpay for properties. So what I wanna do is go through this dispositions checklist. As you go through this dispositions checklist, just be mindful. This is at the point in your business where you've already found a deal. You've already signed the contract on the deal. Now you're looking to find a buyer. And in addition to finding a buyer, get the deal closed. So let's go ahead and jump in. So the first thing that you want to keep in mind is this dispositions checklist is broken up into 4 different sections, all right? The first section is when receiving an executed contract from the seller on a wholesale deal, these are the steps that you need to take. The next section is when finding a buyer, these are the steps that you need to take. Then it says before closing, this is what you need to do. And then upon closing, this is what you need to do. All right, now I did a video previously on mimic, don't copy. This is a perfect example of when you should copy. These are just some things to keep in mind. Checklists are for you to keep things in mind. Mimicking, marketing, and all of that stuff is not the best approach all the time because my results can differ from your results and we can use the same exact copy. If you haven't checked out that mimic versus copy video, I'll link it up at the top for you as well. When it comes to receiving an executed contract from the seller on a wholesale deal, the first thing you want to do is have the seller send pictures of all the rooms and exterior of the property, and then you want them to highlight the problem areas. So in this market, we're not necessarily going out to see every single house. You know, I don't personally go out to see houses anymore. What I do is I have the seller send me pictures. So once we have an agreement with the seller, I want them to send me pictures just so I can verify the condition of the property, especially if it's a virtual deal. Then it says, have the seller install a lockbox on the property in a discrete area. So again, you're almost kind of making the seller an assistant for you, right? The seller wants to sell the property. You're looking to take over the property or control the property, and you're having the seller do the mundane things for you. You know, a perfect example of this, there's a real estate company out here called Click2 Realty. I remember years ago when I wanted to sell a property and put it on the market, they actually sent me the sign, they sent me all of the documents, they sent everything to me, and then I had to put the sign in the yard. I had to do all of the dirty work. You're in essence doing the same exact thing when it comes to the motivated seller. So you're gonna have the seller, you can actually send the seller a lockbox and have them put the lockbox on the property. Or if you don't have the money, ask them if they can purchase the lockbox. But no matter what, you wanna make sure that they put the lockbox in a discrete area. So in a discrete area for me means on a gas meter, on a water meter. I don't like putting lockboxes on the front of the property, on the front door, because it just raises red flags when it comes to people seeing that the property is vacant and things like that. It can cause some danger to the property, all right? Then it says upload all of the pictures from the seller into a folder with the address name in the active deals folder in Google Drive. So what we do in my business, we have active, pending, and sold folders in Google Drive. And whenever we whenever we have a deal, we upload pictures with the address. We create a folder with the address name of the folder. We actually make the address the name of the folder rather. And then we go ahead and upload all the pictures. And when buyers want to see pictures, we just give them access to the folder through Google Drive. So that's the next step right there. Then it says, add property to the whiteboard in the CRM and update lead to reflect the status. So at this point, if you have a CRM, all you're gonna do, and this is for organizational purposes, all you're gonna do is mark the status, however you decide to mark it in your business, mark the status in your CRM if you're using one. If you're not using one, fine. Maybe you have a folder set up. You know, maybe you do things old school. However you do it, make sure you're organized with how you handle your deals moving forward. It says start marketing the contract to the buyer's list. If you have a buyer's list, which you should be building one all the time, what I would personally do is send an email blast and a text message out to all of the buyers. And also another thing you want to do that's not on this list, and I plan on adding it at some point, find out who recently purchased properties in the area, see what they paid for it, if they were cash buyers or not, and then skip trace their information and go ahead and send them a text blast as well. I guarantee you're gonna find buyers that way, all right? It says put an ad on Craigslist 3 times per day, once in the morning, once in the afternoon, once in the evening. We're talking 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and probably 5 o'clock. That way you stay at the top of Craigslist and you're catching people when they get to work, when they're on their lunch break, and when they're about to leave work as well. So you're hitting them multiple times per day. It says market the property in Facebook groups and Facebook Marketplace as well. So we sell a lot of properties in Facebook groups and Facebook Marketplace. What I would do is set up your own Facebook group as well. That way you're becoming an authority figure. You're building a network of buyers in your own local area or the market you're in. And you become the go-to person, the go-to wholesaler with the good deals. So you definitely want to do that as well. Then it says contact buyers on gosection8.com. I have a video on how to do that. I'll link it up at the top as well. So when receiving an executed contract from the seller on a wholesale deal, these are the steps that you want to take. What's the next part? So the next part is when you find the buyer. So now at this point you have a buyer. What do you do now? It says get an assignment agreement signed via DocuSign. I'll link the assignment agreement that I use. I did a video on it. You can download it. I'll link it up at the top as well. It says make sure the closing costs, the closing date for the buyer on the contract is a week before your particular closing date. Now, why do you want to do that? Because sometimes buyers don't actually close deals. This will give you enough time to find another buyer if your initial buyer can't perform on the contract. You get to keep that earnest money deposit, but then you still get to sell the deal because you have enough time to do it. So always give yourself some type of breathing room in that regard, all right? It says get an earnest money deposit from the buyer sent to the attorney, okay? If you decide to collect your earnest money deposits, that's fine. Chances are if you want to keep it clean, then have your buyer send the earnest money deposit along with the signed agreement to their closing attorney, okay? Get a copy of the proof of funds from the buyer. That's self-explanatory. Contact the closing attorney or title company to run title on the property and send them the end buyer's info as well. So the closing attorney is always gonna wanna know who the end buyer is and gonna want their contact information. So all you're gonna do is send them the information of the seller and the buyer, the end buyer on the deal as well. It says set closing date and time. That's self-explanatory. It says let the closing attorney or title company know what you're netting on the deal. Your assignment contract is gonna do that, and always put net behind your assignment contract. If you're looking to make $20,000 in an assignment fee, make sure you write $20,000 net on the contract. This way the attorney knows that you're not looking to pay any of the closing costs. You're looking to walk from the table with the amount that you agreed to, okay? Then it goes on to say, update the closing date if necessary with the attorney or title agent. And that's pretty self-explanatory as well. So as you're going through the process, at this point, you're under contract, the title is being run, everything is being done with the attorneys. This is what you need to keep in mind before the closing date. Obtain and review the HUD-1 at least 2 to 3 days before. Sometimes the attorneys take a little longer, maybe a day, sometimes the day of the closing, you'll have to review it, but make sure you obtain a copy of it so you can make sure that all of the numbers line up with what you're looking to make on that particular deal. And also follow up with the end buyer. Make sure everything is good on their end. Make sure that they're ready to close as well. And then upon closing, this is what you need to do. Make sure the attorney or title company has your wire information if you're out of state or if you're not looking to attend closing. Make sure they have your information to pay you, okay? And then get the proof of the wire. If they made the wire transfer, make sure that the amount matches the exact amount on the HUD that you agreed to. And then it also says add the properties drive folder to the closed deals. Now remember, I told you I break everything up into sections: active, pending, and closed deals. So you move it from the pending section to the closed folder, and then that's it. So that's the entire checklist right there. What you can do is download a copy of this and you'll get a clearer understanding. If you want more videos like this and you're new to this channel, click the subscribe button, click the notification bell as well, because if you subscribe but you're not getting notified, you won't know when the videos actually come out. So you can be a subscriber but not actually know when I release videos, and I release videos multiple times throughout the week. Click the like button, because when you click the like button, it sparks the YouTube algorithm. It allows me to allow YouTube to see that you like this video, and at the end of the day, they'll push it out to more people. And in turn, I get to help more investors just like you. So like this video, subscribe to this channel, click the notification bell, leave a comment below, let me know what you thought about this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.